Now we're going to talk about how to fall asleep easily at night. So we've already talked about that ideally you should be getting to bed by 10:30 at night, and ideally you should be able to fall asleep within 5 minutes of hitting the pillow. So if you're laying there tossing and turning, making your to-do list and having a hard time falling asleep at night, those are all signs that your cortisol levels are high. So what is cortisol? Cortisol is a hormone that you have in your body that helps your body to handle stress. So it helps to make you more awake so that you can handle stress more effectively. So we've got this little curve over here. This is what your cortisol levels should look like throughout the day. Ideally, they should be higher in the morning so that you have energy to get up out of bed and get going. And then throughout the day, it tapers off so that at night you can easily fall asleep at night. So the issue that a lot of people have is their cortisol curve doesn't look like this. It gets off, and so it makes it hard to fall asleep at night. So a lot of times you'll see people that have a low morning cortisol and a high evening cortisol, or for example, it's just high all day long. If you're having those things, it's going to be hard to fall asleep at night. So the question becomes, how do we fix it? Now there's three primary ways that we can fix getting your cortisol levels back to normal so that you can fall asleep at night. And those three are going to be light, food, and exercise. Okay, so we've got these three here. So the first one is light. So one of the simple things you can do is to reduce your cortisol, try to reduce your exposure to light right before bed. So reduce the amount of light in your house. You can gradually dim the lights as you're getting closer to bedtime. Also, looking at computer, TV, cell phone screens right before you go to bed increases cortisol levels as well. So if you can reduce your exposure to looking at those screens before bed, it's going to help reduce the cortisol levels as well. The next thing is food. So carbohydrates, especially higher sugar foods, are going to be very good at helping to relax your body and bring your cortisol levels back down. So good foods to eat before bed if you're having a hard time falling asleep would be things like bananas, yogurt, honey, other sweeter fruits like pineapples, mangoes, the tropical fruits and things like that. One of the guys I learned from, his name was Bernardo Lapallo. He's 114 years old. One of the things he's always done his whole life is eat a banana before bed because it helps him to fall asleep easier and to sleep through the night more effectively. Okay? And then the last thing is exercise. So as you're exercising throughout the day, you are helping to burn off some of that morning cortisol that ideally is higher in the morning. The other thing with exercise is that if you are exercising right before bed, if your exercise is stressful, it's going to bump your cortisol levels back up. So you need to make sure that you take some precautions with the light and the food to get it back down. So not to say you can't work out in the evening, you can, you just might have to take some of the other precautions to get it back down and go from there.